Hello and welcome back to Dad Got This. Today we are attempting to make Arroz Blanco Puertorriqueño in the Instant Pot. Now, traditionally you would make it in one of these or something close to one of these called, I'm gonna butcher this, caldero, or they say a Dutch oven will work. Fun fact, Dad has never made rice not in a rice cooker the traditional way. Well, that changes today. We are going to make authentic, quote unquote, as close as Dad can get it. Please don't beat me up in the comments. Arroz Puertorriqueño Blanco, that one, using his Dutch oven and a traditional recipe. And then we're going to try to get as close as we can recreating it using the Instant Pot and see if it's any good. In one of my previous rice videos, one of my friends had mentioned in the comments, hey, you forgot to add oil and salt to your rice. And I was like, well, that's pretty weird. Why would you add that before you're done cooking it? Like, wasn't it like flavorings go in at the end? Apparently not in the Puerto Rican rice cooking tradition. You put them in before you cook the rice, like while they're cooking. So it's really simple recipe. It's rice, oil, salt. You cook it in this, and the main reason you want to cook it in this, they say, is so you can get little burnt bits at the bottom of the pot. This is another thing Dad had no clue about. Apparently people that's the favorite part of the rice. In our family, that's the part of the rice nobody wants. Interesting. There's even a word for them, pagao, and it only happens because you cook it in one of these Dutch ovens by just literally putting the pot on the stove, closing the lid, not touching it. So that rice at the bottom, since it's not getting stirred or anything like that, it's gonna get a little bit crispy at the bottom. We are going to do a comparison. So let's cook some rice. I am using Arroz Rico medium grain rice, el mejor de Puerto Rico. Apparently this is the preferred rice of Puerto Rico. And a medium grain rice has much finer granules than your traditional jasmine rice or anything like that. These measuring cups are a little weird. You fill them to a line inside the cup, not actually the cup. Now, I have already messed up this thing because the water and the oil go in first before the rice. So let me measure out my rice and put that to the side. So we're gonna do 1.5 cups of rice. The recipe calls for 3 cups, but I don't need to make 6 cups of rice here. That's too much rice for right now. So I think we should be fine with 1.5 cups. 1.5 cups. We got 2 tablespoons of oil. And then we need 1/2 tablespoon of salt. And now we're going to take this over to the stove. Are you enjoying this video? If so, there are a few small things you can do to help Dad out. Subscribe if you're not. Give this video a like and hit that notification bell. Thanks. Once your water comes to a boil, go ahead and add in your rice. Give it a quick little stir, and we're going to cook it for about 3 to 5 minutes. Once that is done, lower your heat down to low, cover it, and you're just going to let it sit there for about 20 to 25 minutes. That's it. We are going to follow the same ratios. And 1/2. We're going to use the same 1-to-1 ratio that I always use. We will put in the same amount of oil. Two tablespoons. We will put in our 1/2 tablespoon of salt. We'll give this a little stir to mix all that in. We'll cook it for 6 minutes with a full natural release of about 10. let's give it a try. I don't see any crispy bits. It looks kind of hard and crunchy. I don't think this is cooked. Let me see. No, that's hard. Like a rock hard. I followed the recipe to a T, other than I cut it in half. I used half the amount of rice and half the amount of water with the same amount of cooking time. That shouldn't make a difference. If anyone regularly cooks this rice, please let me know in the comments, what did I do wrong? We'll see how the Instant Pot version comes out here in a minute. But I'm gonna add a little bit more water and stick this back on the burner and see if I can't save it at least. Tastes good. And this, folks, is why I use rice cookers and Instant Pots to make my rice. This is done. It has had a 10-minute natural release. Let's go ahead and open it up and see what kind of rice we got out of our Instant Pot. Give it a taste. Okay. A little firmer than I'm used to cooking rice, but pretty good. Now, Dad's idea to get us the pagao, the little crispy bits at the bottom, is I'm gonna actually close this back up and I'm gonna put it on saute. And I'm gonna let it just burn the bottom of the rice for a little bit and see if that does it. On second thought, I'm gonna do it with the lid open so I can keep an eye on it. Just to see. Nope, still no browning. We'll let it go a little longer. We got a little bit of stickage on the bottom, which I think is kind of what you want. Which will give us a little bit of crispy bits. I think we're there. Let's go ahead and plate it up. Want to taste after it's been sauteed a little? Oh, I did get some crispy bits. That's pretty good. Kind of fried ricey. Very good. Definitely has much more punch and flavor than plain white rice. I do like it. I have no clue how or why I completely messed up the original one. Maybe it has to be more rice, more water. Maybe the volume of the pot matters. If somebody knows, I would really like to know. Let me know in the comments on how I messed it up. I might try another one with the full 3 cups, 3 water recipe and see if it makes a difference. Actually, let me go check on it. It's been cooking for a little while longer. I want to see if I actually was able to cook it to anything remotely edible. Nope, it's still like chewing on pebbles. In conclusion, I feel like there are a couple ways you could get the pig out. You could do the saute thing that I did and let it go a little bit longer because I didn't really even get very much browning. I did get some stickage at the bottom, which did give me a little bit crispy bits at the bottom. You could also probably just leave it on keep warm for quite a while, which is going to dry out the rice and give you that hard yellowish crispy stuff at the bottom, which is what happens to our rice if we leave it on keep warm too long, if that's what you like. I will say the addition of the salt and the oil in the cooking process makes for a very tasty rice. I do like it. I also like the texture of the medium grain rice. It's a nice bite to it. I would cook mine probably, if I did this again, a little bit longer. I'd probably go 8 minutes with the full 10-minute release, but it makes a nice bowl of rice. Dad may completely screw up traditional Puerto Rican rice, but make a reasonable facsimile using the Instant Pot. However, Dad doesn't do outros, so that's it. Bye.